This is ABC 7 Los Angeles. Now, Eyewitness News.
And moving on to other news, a Memorial Weekend tribute tonight here in the Southland, a play honoring some unsung heroines, the American women who served in Vietnam. And the setting was a military cemetery. Eyewitness News reporter Leslie Sykes has a live report for us from Westwood.
Well, that's right, Jeff. The play was set right here in this cemetery amidst hundreds of tombstones. It was very emotional. Many people in the audience had relatives who died in the Vietnam War, so you can imagine the impact that this performance had, especially on the Memorial Day weekend.
I had never really considered what Memorial Day weekend was about. Memorial Day weekend was always a picnic weekend for me, and a time to go rafting or, summer activities. And after doing this play, it will never be that again.
Attention, emergency helicopters coming in. Helicopters coming in.
We're landing! Man, guns flying in my face! Corpsmen running to the chopper, getting injured men!
Running back with stretchers. Putting men on metal beds.
We've got a war to fight!
Holy shit.
He's got no legs! Gone! Thighs down!
So much blood.
Blood.
Green fatigue soaked.
Of what they say.
Doctors and nurses to your post,
How
please.
can
Piece of My Heart was an extraordinary success on an emotional level, visceral level, and in the community, because we got it out there. It wasn't just for a handful of vets in a shabby room at the VA. We did it at the National Cemetery. It's never been done before. An extraordinary event. It happened because of Drew's perseverance and his charisma and his passion.
What an outrageous thing to take this play and do it right in the middle of the cemetery. I thought, wow, that's like real, that's pretty outrageous.
Mommy! And I'm saying, don't worry, baby, Mommy's right here. Only I'm just 21 myself.
And he's a blonde kid from California, looking just like your brother Denny and screaming, I don't want to die!
A piece of my heart goes with each one of them. A piece of my heart!
Can't anybody see?
So I started the company with a group of people in the living room. And what I noticed for me was that I was most excited about hearing and seeing the people read the material. It didn't need to be a vehicle for me.
BJ Steele did before she went over to Vietnam was learn to shoot. Steele was going to carry her weapon and know how to fire it over there. Make no mistake about that. I learned how to strip an M16. I learned how to handle it, fire it, and then I learned how to shoot a .45, just so I could cock that thing behind my back. Then I said to myself, well, now, I think it's about time for me to go on over to Vietnam and see what I can see.
But it was a vehicle for me by watching other people explore and expand and uncover and discover their own gifts.
Red alert? Red alert means you are in immediate danger of a direct rocket hit or a sapper attack when the enemy penetrates the perimeter. If you are off duty, you crawl immediately into a bunker. If you are on duty, you put on flak jackets, helmets, and put mattresses over all your patients, then take cover yourself while someone guards the door.
I see.
You're on red alert most of the time.
I see.
Sissy is kind of the heart of the play. All the characters are different aspects of a woman, as well as their individual characters. And if you look at it as the corporal woman, Sissy would be the heart, so you kind of take the journey with her.
2 breast tumors removed. Doctor, what is Agent Orange disease?
I look at it as a coming-of-age story. Coming of age for these women, girls becoming women, and symbolically of the coming of age of how Americans looked at Vietnam. And Sissy was the most innocent and had the longest journey.
Anything remotely resembling this. Her father and I both served in Cu Chi. This is Agent Orange disease.
When it works, it can be overwhelming for an audience, and it did. Several nights I saw the play and I saw people left sometimes at the intermission because they were so overwhelmed. People stayed sometimes because they couldn't get out of their seat. They were nailed to their seat. And by the last moments of this play, when the Vietnam names, the men who died in Vietnam, went across the sky, the trees, the faces of the actors, the backs of the audience, and you could see with clarity each of these people who had died, their names. The overall experience was extraordinary because it became real.
It's one of those rare experiences where life and art meet. I mean, to do this play is wonderful enough, but to do it in the National Cemetery in Los Angeles on Memorial Day is an experience that, it's once in a lifetime.
Right in front of where the set was, there was a series of graves that a lot were 1975. And there was one of these men whose birth date was the same as mine, and he was born the same year I was. And he didn't make it home. And I realized that's why I was doing the play. I was doing the play because I could do the play. And I never felt, in all that time in that cemetery, I knew that those men and women who were there knew that we were there. And they knew, they wanted us to be there. Because every time we encountered a problem, the door just opened up.